Good evening, everyone. Can everyone stand?
Left feet. Present. Go.
Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Go. Go. Right feet. Pose.
You may be seated. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sergeant Henderson. I'm the supervisor for our Community Policing Division. But tonight we're here to celebrate Bowie Police Session 1, Citizens Academy. It's a long 9 weeks. If you ask them, it was a long 9 weeks. So. They're ready to do it again. So I do want to start by thanking everyone for showing up, especially all the friends, family, elected officials, our command staff, for being here tonight. I do want to introduce a few people before we begin. Mayor Fred Robinson is here. Monica Vest, Public Safety Committee. Of course, you'll hear from our Chief of Police, Chief John Nuske. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed out. Mr. Councilman Estevez. Deputy Chief Dwayne Preston. Our Lieutenant Ernest Stanley. Lieutenant Joseph Rose. That's the real name. Okay, you can get that clap. Be clapping all night. Go through the whole thing. So we're going to begin. I'll start with your instructor, your coordinator, Officer Elise Saunders.
Good evening, everyone. I am, as Sergeant Henderson said, I am Private First Class Elise Saunders and the coordinator for the first session of the City of Bowie Citizens Academy. I've spent the last 9 weeks getting to know each and every one of you, and you guys have been very entertaining, to say the least. I will miss how silly you are and the enthusiasm to fill the evening on Tuesdays every night. You guys are awesome, okay? There was a lot of work behind the scenes that ultimately allowed this program to run smoothly. I want to take the time to thank my team, Community Service Unit, the Bowie Police Instructors, the staff from Prince George's County Communications Center, the Office of Sheriff, and the Department of Corrections. Lastly, I would like to thank our graduates for stepping outside of their comfort zone and investing time to learn about their police department. Knowledge is power, and is also the link that connected all of us. Thank you.
She only said the nice stuff about the class. When we do the cake, if any of the family want to know the other stuff, I'll tell you. Our next presenter is Chief John Nuske.
Good evening, everybody. So I guess this makes you OGs, right? Original graduates. Very few people get to be the very first to do something, and you've accomplished that, and we thank you for that. When we started the process of the department, we always sought ways to have community input, and this is another way to do this. And we expect that we will continue to see you. We expect that you will continue to be engaged with us and help spread the word. There's a lot of misinformation out there. There's a lot of misperceptions. And the only way that we can clear that up is through good communication. And you are now part of that communication chain. You've seen what life is like on the other side. That doesn't say we're perfect on the other side, but it does say that there is a different perspective to be shared. And you have made great contacts with us. You've made some friends with us. Please, let's continue this relationship. Let's keep moving forward. And when session 476 graduates, you guys come in there and flex with your session number 1 polo shirts. Congratulations.
Thanks, Chief. Session 1. I always say you session 1. See, we have something in common. I was part of the first 6 officers hired here for the city, so you know, it's been a wild but fun journey with the city, ups and downs, and just seeing where the department is today. So I'm happy this program got off, because this is something we talked about back when we were in a triple wide trailer behind City Hall. So the next mayor, Fred G. Robinson, to say a few words.
Good evening. How are you guys tonight? I have one question for you. How many of you got a new affection for donuts? Anyway, thank you for coming, and thank you for putting up with the process. As you can imagine, you know, we are, you know, Diane Palangan from the council, and our newest member, and probably the youngest member that's ever sat on this council, Michael and Steph. We are incredibly proud of the city police department. You know, we talk about ups and downs. The ups and downs were really trying to get the thing off the ground. Once we, you know, we had a vision of where we wanted to go, we went to the police department and John and Catherine Perez and said, here's the plan. Put some brick and mortar around it, put some people around it, and see what you can do. And we laid out a 10-year growth plan. And we laid out a budget. They had an unlimited budget, which they promptly overspent. I remember when this building was going up, walking through the building with the city manager, and I inadvertently walked into their gym. Have you guys been in the gym? You ought to. I walked into the gym and I looked around, and the first thing I said to the chief and to the city manager said, don't ever tell me what this cost. It was perfect. But on a serious note, the city has matured a lot over the last 20 years. You know, if you look at the growth of the city, in 1990 the city was 35,000 people. By 2000 we were 50,000 people. The last census we're a tad under 60,000. And if the projected growth in our area continues as expected, we're probably going to break into 70,000 not too long. And that makes us, right now we're the 3rd or 4th largest city in the state. Largest city in Prince George's, obviously. So we were maturing to a point where we had really outgrown the relationship with the men and women at District 2 of the County Police. Marvelous people down there, we love them to death. But given their focus and their priority, it was obvious that we had to go in a different direction. So, like I said, we decided where we wanted to go, put the right people in place, and I personally could not be more proud of where the organization is today. Every marker we put down, they hit early, they did it better than we expected, and the men and women in this department have struck and started building traditions that, you know, you guys are number one, and you will be, you know, you're going to be the barometer for the people that follow you. Well, these guys have started, they started from scratch. You know how many police departments started from scratch in the last 20 years in the United States of America? When we went to the IA, International Association of Chief Police, we went to FOPs across the country, we couldn't find a place to start. So we did it, and we just laid it in their pocket and said, build your organization, build your structure, build your policy manuals, build your training requirements, do your screening policies, your vetting policies, and get it done, and get it done quickly as soon as we can start moving. But right away, everybody was on the same page. We wanted this to be a community-focused police department. We wanted the men and women of the department to look like, react like, and be part of the community. Not only the residential community, but the business community as well. If you look around different cities of our size across the country, there are a lot of great organizations, a lot of great police departments, and a lot of great men and women that serve the police department. We wanted our own little unique niche, and quite frankly, I think we've achieved it. I could not be happier, could not be more confident in the leadership and the operational level of the police department. I talk to mayors across the state about, organizations and their staff and all that, and services, and I get this mixed thing, but a lot of them tell me that, the police are great, but, and there's usually something that comes along after. I'm here to tell you that the Bowie City Police Department are great, period, end of discussion. We couldn't be more proud of it, and I'm proud of the fact that you guys took on your initiative to come in and see what it's like on this side. Like I say, maybe it was like the dark side, the movie that's coming out again. I don't know if you guys got your tickets for Star Wars yet? I got two sons, they're both grown men, they both got tickets for Star Wars already. I said, didn't you grow out of that? But what I'm saying is, you guys now have a view of where they are and we're going to count on you too. Because there's going to come a point in time when you can be incredibly useful. When we start doing long-term and short-term planning, the council's going to sit down and renew our 10-year and 20-year growth plan and operating plan probably in the next couple of months. And the police department will have a key role in that. And I'd like to see you guys participate in that as much. So kind of say, this is where we are, this is where we want to be, and there's 3 or 4 ways to get there. What's the best? And the least expensive, Chief. You see this nod? He says, yeah, he's up there saying it's going to be, and we know it's not going to be. But like I say, I thank you for coming on board. I thank you for participating and putting up with the drills and stuff for the last several months. But I don't want to close without saying that I really appreciate what you guys have done. I feel incredibly comfortable at night. I have incredible confidence, like I say, in the leadership and the operation of the men and women of the department. I know other mayors stay up at night. I don't. I know that everything's going well and everything's going to be peaceful. And just as a personal side, we're going into a nice holiday season. These guys are going to be working while you guys are partying. Hold them in your thoughts. And then as I close all of my conversations, particularly this time of year, as you celebrate the upcoming holiday season, reach out, have a good time. But I'd like to ask you to give a thought to the men and women that are serving in the military forces that are deployed around the world and those that are in harm's way. We heard today that there will be a new infusion of military troops that are going into Iraq and Syria. All we knew is hopefully they'll come back safely and soon. So thanks again for what you're doing, and Chief, thank you for your people.
Thank you, Mayor. So next we're going to do the student plaque presentation. May I have Melinda Anderson up, please? Chief, Deputy, and Officer Saunders. Front, I'm sorry, right up here. Yeah, I should have been more clear. I want to keep this for myself.
This is for you guys on behalf of the Session 1 Citizens Academy. It's a pleasure to present you with this plaque.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's going to get hung up on our wall, so we have a few spots we're thinking of. I'm trying to get a picture this big for me. That one for you guys. So next we're going to have the class leader, councilwoman of the city of Bowie, Miss Diane Pling.
This certainly was quite an experience for all of us. Chief Neske came up with an idea that would improve upon the existing relationship between the citizens of Bowie and its police department. He wanted to create a broader understanding of how the police department functions, and this was the birth of the Citizens Police Academy. The program was 9 weeks of training, which allowed us to learn from police officers and other members of the criminal justice system through interactive classes and facilitated discussions. 26 were chosen to make this journey together. For each one of us, the reason for our journey was different, but we all agreed on one thing, that we wanted to learn about our police department and the courageous men and women who put on a bulletproof vest every day and spend that day protecting us. What does it take to do this job? We signed up for the Citizens Police Academy to find out. PFC Elise Saunders was tasked with putting together the class schedule and instructors, and she also had the help of Sergeant Benny Henderson. The graduating class would like to give a shout out to Renee Hance's introduction to recruiting and background investigation, Deputy Chief Dwayne Preston for ethics, Sergeant Benny Henderson and PFC Elise Saunders for community policing, introduction to explorers, Detective Sergeant Rodriguez and Detective Simmons for the overview of the Criminal Investigations Division, PFC Saunders introduction to direct response team, PFC Booth for crime scene evidence technician, Mr. Hodge for managing property and evidence, Lieutenant Colonel Mark Ricky Rockapori, and PFC Elise Saunders for clear and concise domestic violence follow-up, Sergeant Jefferson's introduction to internal affairs, and Sergeant Stevenson's training. Gerber and Tracy's field trip to the 9/11 Communications Center, and PFC Elise Saunders' brother, was it Alex? Enrique, okay. As Slack and Corporal Moten for traffic control, Chief John Neske showed the importance of media relations, citizen and police interaction, and Lieutenant Colonel Rocky Rockapore gave an introduction to the Sheriff's Office. PFC Saunders, Lieutenant Gordon, Lieutenant Gamble, Sergeant Pena, and Sergeant Orr gave us an introduction to Department of Corrections. Lieutenant Knott and Sergeant Wall taught the class on the use of force, less lethal techniques, and judgmental shooting. That was an incredible class. I think we all learned something from each and every one of these classes. I, for one, learned something very valuable about myself that I never realized. I always thought in a fight or flight situation that I'd pick up my bags and run, but I found out that I would stay and fight. That was a little scary thought there. And Daniel wants to become a police officer after these 9 weeks. So I think this was eye-opening for everybody, the class. So I'd like to leave my class with these parting words because it's a little poem. And after I read the poem, I want you to know that I've printed one for each of you with your name on it as my gift to you. If there were ever a time to dare, to make a difference, to embark on something worth doing, it's now. Not for any grand cause necessarily, but for something that tugs at your heart, something that's worth your aspiration, something that is your dream. You owe it to yourself to make your days count, to have fun, to dig deep, and to stretch. To believe in the incredible power of the human mind, of doing something that makes a difference, of working hard, of laughing and hoping, of lasting friends, of all the things that will cross your path. This class started something new with the hope of doing something great, and we found anything is possible. So on this your graduation day, we all stand and cheer to honor you for all the work you've done to get here. As we rise and give applause, be sure you don't forget that learning is not over as your future plans are met. May you always be a listener and learn from all you meet. Always keep that student spirit, and your life will be complete. Thank you all for being my friend for these last 9 weeks. And congratulations.
Thank you. First, I knew she would fight. We teach a self-defense class for women. And if you guys would have saw her the last week when they dress up in the suits and fight us off, you would have had no doubt that she was going to fight and she wouldn't run. And as she was reading, I kept hearing Saunders. So you would think Saunders is like elite, but we have a few Saunders on the department, as well as her brother was here. Because I was like, man, you are all that. You did that? So, in the wrong profession. May I have the chief, the deputy, and Officer Saunders and Lieutenant Stanley up? Oh, and then Mayor, I'm sorry. Mayor, I need you up here too. Right here. 2 on one side and 3 on the other.
Is this the gauntlet?
Yeah. We're going to get a rope. So for the first row, you guys stand. We're going to do the award.
I'll stay here with the Damascus guy.
We're going to go, yep, you can make it. So now we're going to present our awards. Leslie Anderson. This is a certificate. Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, after he can stand in the middle. Turn, Renee will be taking the picture. Thank you. Melinda Anderson. Diane Barr. Jennifer Pickford, or Bigford, I'm sorry. Daniel Blades. William Cervenka.
I pictured voicing that myself. Thank you. Well, you did a hell of a job.
Ashley Siagalo. Sorry. Richard Cohen. Russell the Atley. Chip. We put Chip on the certificate. John Ewing.
I know it releases everybody's favorite.
Paula Liano Oliver. Amy Locker.
Oh, good thing there wasn't a test, huh? Back to session 2. Congratulations.
Joanne Moyer. Sandra Nash. Edward Oblas. Roland Olty. Robin Owens. Daniel Peoples. Abba Palangan. Diane Palangan.
Don't be beating up the police.
I've been beating him up since the first day.
Let me tell you, this woman is incredible. She just went through surgery. On election day, I saw her get up and go off for an hour of physical therapy and come back and work the rest of the day. And then she told me her objective was to be in high heels by Christmas.
My red patent leather.
Connie Ronkel. Philip Stokes. Scott Vining. Sharon Wiggs. I put bunny ears behind her ear the first time. I'm sorry, it's my fault. Andy Williams. Congratulations again. So I was told the class had something to present, so I'm not sure if the whole class, some of the class, how you guys want to do it?
I'll cry, but this has truly been the best 9 weeks for all of us. I mean, you all have been such a joy.
Turn around.
No, I don't really want to talk. Rather do it over there. No, truly, you guys have been such a joy to be here. We've all loved you so much, and you have taught us so much. We don't want to leave. We really don't. So thank you for everything, both of you. You're welcome.
I just want to thank the Bowie Police Department for everything they've done. I want to thank Chief Zeski, Deputy Chief Preston. It's been an honor to take this class and learn about policing and learning that the relationships have to get better with the police department and the citizens because the world is changing and everything's getting different. So I just want to thank you all and appreciate everything you've done, Sergeant Henderson and Elise Saunders. I do appreciate everything, and I thank you.
Thank you.
You can see we turned her hair a different color. And she couldn't have done it without her faithful sidekicks. We thank you.
Thank you.
All of our class.
So again, I truly want to thank everyone, from the city council, mayor, my command staff. I wouldn't be able to do it without my team. I know Corporal Moten just snuck out so he can do some more work and get y'all refreshments ready for when you get out there. But we truly wouldn't be able to do this program if it wasn't for the dedication of everyone in my unit. So again, I want to thank my unit, the community services unit, for all their hard work, all our officers and staff at the police department, because this wouldn't be possible without the officers, the instructors that we have, the partnerships with the outside agencies, the support of the council, the command staff. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank each and every one of you. Thank you to the families who had to endure 9 weeks. So now they can go back to babysitting. No, I'm just, but really, thank you for spending this time. This is not going to be the end. We're going to have the beginning of the year. We're doing our alumni committee, so you guys will get your email on in. But again, tonight's about you, about celebration. We have some refreshments. Please, before we cut into it, look at the cake, take a big picture. I think it's nice. I don't know, my own person. I took a picture of it. I was like, if the phone fall in the cake, we'll just cut that part out. But again, thank you for spending the time with us. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Have a great night. Session 1, congratulations, alums.